If you would like an emotionally stable and secure relationship, but the other party is distant, cold, perhaps they're insecure, or behaving irresponsibly, like drinking, doing things that make you upset, this video is for you. Hi, my name is Yenovah Tylervite, and I am a dating and relationships instructor and/or coach. And it is my mission to help you manifest your desired relationship by offering you practical guidance and instruction. So, how do we get the relationship that we desire without having to deal with the problems that we're facing? When I give you my answers and solutions, I want to be able to deliver the information to you with a straight face. You could go to a so-called manifestation coach, and they could tell you to think new thoughts, because thoughts equals things, and technically this may be true. But what would differentiate me if I told you the exact same thing? If I was a red pill coach or a pink pill coach, and I validated your feelings in wanting to distance yourself away from your own romantic interest because of their disproportionate behavior, and I talk about things like the patriarchy, or women just don't care about men, how am I to differentiate myself? So what really matters is our response. Our response is what actually created the circumstances and events that we are facing today. It might not seem like it at first, whereby an event, preferably like something that we don't like, happens, and then we start feeling certain emotions as a result of the thing that we've experienced. It may also be true that the thing we've experienced inside of ourselves, the feelings we've had, were already existent within us that drew out this external experience. But the scriptures say, nothing comes unto me unless the Father draw him, which means you basically are a magnet by default. And if you want to change whatever it is that you're attracting, whatever it is that you're manifesting, whatever it is that you're reflecting, we have to change the source being us, not necessarily anything to do with the other party. If we attracted and manifested someone into our life who is smoking, drinking, etc., abusive even, carrying out disproportionate behavior, verbally volatile, emotionally distraught, I'm not victim blaming, but I am saying there is something within us that existed in our heart that drew this onto us. And we might not even realize why that's the case. For example, let me give you a personal struggle of my own that I've had for a while. I used to believe that love was about control, and not about me controlling another person, but I used to try and make the other person control me, because I would literally try to give up everything about myself to be with someone that I used to be romantically interested in. And I didn't really discover until more recently that ancient behavior of mine was coming from a place of hurt, because I wanted to feel safe in this environment where I was being controlled. So I would try to give up my belongings, I would try to give up my security, I would try to give up and surrender my freedom in a sense. I wanted the other person to be more in control of me. And I had no idea that's what I was trying to manifest. And in a sense, I was repulsing other people away who were just not interested in that behavior. I couldn't see it. I was completely blind to it. And this is part of our unconscious behaviors. Our behaviors, our responses typically are unconscious, meaning we don't necessarily know what our underlying narratives are, our underlying paradigms, our underlying assumptions, our underlying beliefs. Assumptions, beliefs, paradigms, those are all the same thing. Have you ever heard, your assumptions are what's creating reality? Well, it's also, it literally just means your beliefs. Now, beliefs, there's two things about beliefs. They're both a noun and they're a verb. Have you ever heard someone say, take action? Well, take action is the verb belief. Do you, in the moment, believe XYZ affirmation, XYZ statement of truth, which is the same thing as an affirmation, XYZ autosuggestion, which is the same thing as an affirmation. Your affirmations are drawing the things onto you as they are. You attract not what you want necessarily, but you attract what you are, who you are. Who you are being is what has been drawn onto you. So if you want to change the things that are being drawn to you, you must change you yourself, who you are being now. Change your state of being. And this means changing your feelings. This means changing your thoughts. It means changing your affirmations, your beliefs, your paradigms, your systems that go along with that. So if someone is drinking, or for example, someone's drinking, we can be empathetic. If you're a woman, this should naturally be a little bit easier. I had no idea what empathy really meant. I had no idea, but one day it finally worked for me. I was able to literally put myself in the other person's shoes, and I could look at myself as being part of the contribution as to why someone else might be carrying out certain behavior. So there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to look at something, and you want to be, in my opinion, as multi-perspective as possible. Don't be fixed in just one perspective, in just one opinion, and just one belief system. Look at things from multiple perspectives. You could look at the other party's behavior, meaning you had something to do with it. You contributed to it. Maybe you did something that didn't really alleviate their stress, and they're resorting to alcohol or cigarettes to resolve their own stress. At the same time, it's also wise not to take things personally, especially actions of other people. It's wise to not take the actions of other people personally. You can look at yourself as being the cause and the source of things that are drawn to you. And the reason for this is because of the reticular activating system or confirmation bias, and also the amygdala. So I guess in a sense I'm saying other people's actions are their responsibility. It's not your responsibility to, e.g., make someone else happy. It's not your responsibility to control other people's behavior. That's on other people. But, and at the same time, don't take their actions personally, because you taking it personally will, in a sense, reflect back hurt, rejection, etc. But at the same time, you can look at how you contributed to manifesting this into your reality. How did this draw onto you? This is this thing that's going on through my mind. It's multi-perspective, and we have to, when we analyze a certain behavior, we look at how we're feeling, we look at why we're feeling that way, why we're thinking this way, and then we look at the opposite, the antithesis. If cold exists, hot exists. If dark exists, light exists. If these negative emotions exist, at the same time, the positive emotions exist. Something benefits you about this experience. So even if your romantic interest is distant, cold, pulling away, who knows what the hell they're doing, there is something beneficial about this that is benefiting you right now. Perhaps there is an opportunity here, or perhaps there is a major lesson to be learned. Maybe we can appreciate that our partners value their time. We don't know that for sure, but what if that's the case? What if they really value who they spend time with, and so they don't want to just waste it with anyone? I don't know if that's true, but that's just something to think about. If they have a drinking or smoking problem, there may be an opportunity to discover as to why this is the case, or as to why you drew this towards you. Because if you don't know why this keeps happening, then you may continue to be stuck in this, especially if you identify with your struggling, you identify with your pain, and you kind of dwell in heaven. You dwell in this living space in your mind and in your heart, and you reminisce over this struggle. You actually fondle it. You fondle it, and you make it even more real than it really is. And so we have to stop doing that. We fondle a new reality. We use confirmation to our advantage with it rather than our disadvantage. And we do this perhaps by creating new affirmations, telling ourselves new stories, new statements of truth. And we live by those. For me, if someone was coming to try and take something away from me now, I would be saying to myself, okay, and then that's it. I don't really care, because everything actually works out in my favor. Everything. Like, how is this person really going to hurt me if everything works out in my favor? And it's just like, if someone's going to hurt me, it's like the old version of me was so reactive, so ultra hypervigilant, that it just kind of, now when that comes up, I'm like, I just don't need to feel that way. Everything works out in my favor. If you kind of learned something from this video, feel free to DM me here on TikTok, or hire me as your personal coach. Your first call is free.